young scholars, gather close. Today, we'll explore the complexities of colonization, from the Spanish missions in New Spain to the English tobacco fields in Jamestown. These endeavors shaped the New World in profoundly different ways. Let us begin with the Spanish, a people driven by the thirst for gold and the glory of God. You've heard the names, no doubt. Christopher Columbus, Hernán Cortés, Francisco Pizarro. These men toppled empires and claimed vast tracts of land for Spain. The Encomienda system was one institution they established, granting Spaniards the right to exact tribute and labor from native communities. This wasn't a mere economic strategy. It was a method of subjugation, embedding the conquered into the social fabric of a new colonial society. Remember Santa Fe, established in 1610? That settlement served both as a military outpost and a spiritual center for the Franciscan missionaries converting native populations to Christianity. Now, let's move to the Dutch approach. Quite different, I must say. Our numbers are fewer, but we've built intricate alliances with tribes such as the Lenape and Huron. We engage in trade, particularly fur, which we ship back to Amsterdam to be turned into hats and coats, fetching a handsome price. Samuel de Champlain was an expert at this. He established Quebec and fostered alliances with the Huron, Algonquin, and Inuit tribes. And then there are the Jesuit missionaries, who, while spreading Catholicism, also respected the autonomy of native societies, choosing assimilation over subjugation. Which brings us to the English, an industrious lot. Jamestown, founded in 1607, had its share of hardships. The starving time, for instance, when famine and disease nearly ended the colony. However, they found their economic lifeline in tobacco. John Rolfe was the man behind this. He experimented with tobacco seeds and found a lucrative cash crop. The headright system, an ingenious way to attract settlers, granted parcels of land to new arrivals, turning the colonists into vested stakeholders. Unlike us Dutch, the English lived separately from the natives, prioritizing agriculture over trade alliances. But we must not overlook the French, for their role in the New World is just as crucial. A more nuanced relationship with the native populations characterizes their approach. Jacques Cartier began the French journey to North America, exploring the St. Lawrence River. But it wasn't until Samuel de Champlain founded Quebec in 1608 that their foothold solidified. Unlike the Spanish and even the English, the French did not come in great numbers, and therefore did not seek to subjugate the native populations with overwhelming force or establish large-scale agricultural settlements. Instead, their focus was on trade, principally fur trade, and they developed an extensive network of trading partnerships with native tribes like the Algonquin and Huron. This mutually beneficial relationship, lubricated by the exchange of European goods for furs, created a different kind of colonial impact. The French Coureurs des bois, or runners of the woods, roamed deep into the North American interior, opening up new trade routes but also spreading French influence and Catholicism. Jesuit missionaries, such as the ones I mentioned earlier, accompanied many of these expeditions. Their approach to conversion was marked by a level of respect for native cultures that was generally absent in Spanish or English colonial strategies. They learned local languages, adapted Christian teachings to native cosmologies, and often integrated into the communities they sought to convert. This helped the French maintain alliances that were often more stable than those of other European powers, although not without conflicts of their own. In short, the French colonial endeavor was marked by a symbiosis of commerce and culture, an alliance-building approach that had its own sets of ethical questions and complicated impacts on native societies. Each European nation, be it Spanish, Dutch, English, or French, crafted its unique narrative in the New World, dictated by its own ambitions, relationships with native populations, and the challenges of untamed lands.